Section 1 of The Maker of Rainbows. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Ron Altman. The Maker of Rainbows by Richard Le Gallienne. Section 1. The Old Coat of Dreams. A Prologue. People in London, not merely literary folk, but even those higher social circles to which a certain publisher whose name or race it is hardly fair to mention had so obsequiously climbed, often wondered whence had come the wealth that enabled him to maintain such an establishment, give such elaborate parties, have so many automobiles, and generally make all that display which is so convincing to the modern mind. Of course, they were not seriously concerned, because so long as it is a party, and the chef is paid so much, and the wines are as old as they should be, not even the rarest blossom on the most ancient and distinguished genealogical tree cares whose party it is, or indeed with whom she dances. There is only one democracy, and that is controlled by gentlemen with names that hardly sound beautiful enough to mention in fairy tales. That democracy of money to which the fairest flower of our aristocracy now bows her coroneted head. Strange, but we all know that is so it is. Therefore, all sorts of distinguished and beautiful people came to the publishers' parties. It would have made no difference really to their hard hearts could they have known where all the champagne and conservatories and music came from. They would have gone on dancing all the same, and eating pâté de foie gras and sherbets. Yet it may interest a sad heart here and there to know how it was that that publisher, whose name I forget, but whose nose I can never forget, was able to pay for all that music and dancing, strange flowers, and enchanted food, none of which he, of course, understood. Aristocrats in London, of course, know nothing of a northern district of New York City called Harlem, with so many streets that a learned arithmetician would be needed to number them, a district which, at the first call of spring, becomes vocal with children on doorsteps and vendors of every vegetable in every language. In this district, too, you hear strange trumpets blow, announcing knife and scissors grinders, and strange bells ringing from strings suspended across carts, whose merchandise is bottles and old newspapers. You will hear, too, just when the indomitable sweet smells from the terrible eternal spring are blowing in at your window, and the murmur of rich, happy people going away is heard in the land. A raucous cry in the hot street, a cry full of melancholy, even despair. It goes something like this: "Cash-clo! Cash-clo!" Well, it was just then that a young poet, living in one of those highly arithmetical streets, was wondering, as all the sad spring murmur came to his ears, how he could possibly buy a rose for the bosom of his sweetheart, with whom he was to dance that night at a local ball. Everything he had in the world had gone. He had sold everything, except his poems. All his precious books had gone, sad, one by one. Little paintings that once made his walls seem like the Louvre had gone. All his old silver spoons, and all the little intaglios he loved so well. And yes, he had even sold the old copper chest of the Renaissance, all studded nails with 3 locks, in which, well, all had gone. Only where was that rose for the bosom of his sweetheart? Where was it growing?
Sample complete. Ready to continue?